Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अश्वत्थ शशि श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. ISKCON फाउंडर आचार्य BBD फाउंडर आचार्य Savior of the whole world Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada की जय. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अश्वत्थ शशि श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहिए श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपिका श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय. श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय. मायापुर नदी धाम की जय. जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय. गंगा माई की जय. यमुना माई की जय. तुलसी महारानी की जय. वृंद देवी की जय. सवेत भक्तवृंद की जय. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. कलियुग पावन हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय. श्री प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय. श्री प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल प्रसादम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय. श्री श्री रुक्मणी द्वारकाधीश की जय. श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया प्रभु सुदर्शन की जय. गिरिराज गोवर्धन जी महाराज की जय. श्री श्री गौ निताय की जय. समस्त एकत्रित वैष्णव भक्त वृंद की जय. निताय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees हरे कृष्णा. ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees हरे कृष्णा. All glories to the assembled devotees Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshtarine Samasta Deshtarine Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. श्री गुरु वंदना का हिंदी में अनुवाद इस प्रकार से है. हमारे गुरुदेव के चरण कमल एकमात्र साधन है जिनके द्वारा हम शुद्ध भक्ति प्राप्त कर सकते हैं. मैं उनके चरण कमलों में अत्यंत भक्ति एवं श्रद्धा पूर्वक नतमस्तक होता हूँ. उनकी कृपा से जीव भौतिक क्लेशों के महासागर को पार कर सकता है तथा कृष्ण की कृपा प्राप्त कर सकता है. मेरी एकमात्र इच्छा है कि उनके मुकम्मल से निकले हुए शब्दों द्वारा अपनी चेतना को शुद्ध करूँ. उनके चरण कमलों में अनुराग ऐसी सिद्धि है जो समस्त मनोरथों को पूर्ण करती है. वे मेरी बंद आंखों को खोलते हैं तथा मेरे हृदय में दिव्य ज्ञान भरते हैं. जन्म जन्मांतरों में वे मेरे प्रभु हैं. वे प्रेमा भक्ति प्रदान करते हैं और विद्या का नाश करते हैं. वैदिक शास्त्र उनके चरित्र का गान करते हैं. हे गुरुदेव, हे प्रभुपाद, करुणा सिंधु तथा पतितात्माओं के मित्र, आप सबके गुरु एवं सभी लोगों के जीवन हैं. हे गुरुदेव, हे प्रभुपाद, मुझ पर दया कीजिए तथा मुझे अपने श्री चरणों की छाया प्रदान कीजिए. आपका यश तीनों लोकों में फैला हुआ है. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. हिज ग्रेस अर्चित प्रभु जी की जय. हरि बोल. So we are very, very fortunate to have His Grace Archit Prabhuji, who is a glorious disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhuji is taking care of academic outreach in USA. Also Prabhuji is in charge of Bhaktivedanta book publishing over there. And that is publishing books of Srila Prabhupada in English as well as in Spanish language. And today we are very, very fortunate to have a glorious association of His Grace Archit Prabhuji. Hari Bol. So let's welcome once again His Grace Archit Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Grace Archit Prabhuji ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. There's some seva for somebody, whoever takes it up first. These cartels need to have longer. Why so short? we're not hobbits. We are a normal-sized human being, normal-sized fingers. We need at least twice the length of strap on each cartel. Okay? And nice. Everything should be done nicely. These instruments are Krishna Tadiya. Krishna Tadiya means Krishna's paraphernalia. And Krishna's Tadiya is worshipable. I remember when I was first learning to play mridanga, one of my senior godbrothers, by maybe a year or so, I asked him, because I learned the basic proper beat, and I noticed he was very good. So I said, Prabhu, can you teach me? He said, very seriously, one does not learn to play Sri Mridanga. One makes advancement when Sri Mridanga reveals himself to you. So all of these instruments, Mridanga, kartals, they're Krishna's tadiya, and we should treat them respectfully, which is a tradition in India anyway. Every worker, they perform puja to their tools, because they know, without these tools, how am I going to do my work? So without kartals, mridanga, how are we going to have nice kirtan? Thank you. Okay. Hare Krishna. But still, nice. Get some nice, everybody's wearing nice cloth. So Sri Kartal should also have some nice strap. Why not? Maybe even silk. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Rukmini Dwarkadish Rukmini Dwarkadish Rukmini Dwarkadish Rukmini Dwarkadish Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol, Jaya Om Vishnupad, Paramahansa Padaprajak Acharya Archit Sri Srimad ISKCON BBT Founder Acharyas of Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad is Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem se kaho Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopana Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Brajabhumi Namanam Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Achal Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shrimati Tulsi Maharani Ki Jai. There was beautiful worship. Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish Ki Jai. Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkanath Ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Jai. Shri Shri Gauranitai Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Going back to home, back to Godhead Ki Jai. ISKCON Dwarka Delhi Ki Jai. Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to the Sama devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Glory Srila Prabhupada. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamuthirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our bare means of conquest, let us offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of God and Lord Narayan, unto Narayan Rishi, the supremest human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author, and unto Srila Prabhupada, who is the translator, commentator, and our spiritual master. Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. By regularly attending the Srimad Bhagavatam class and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, whose worship with transcendental songs becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're continuing our reading from the 4th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is chapter 1, entitled Genealogical Table of the Daughters of Manu. We will do 2 verses, 29 and 30. 29 does not have a purport. So the system that we follow back in the U.S., and which is established way back in Prabhupada's day, is that when there is no purport, the speaker will recite that verse by themselves, and then the one with the purport will do responsively. So the first verse I'll just chant by myself. Maitreyo vacha iti tasya vachakshutva trayaste vibhudar shabaha pratyayukshloknaya vacha prahasyatam rishing prabho. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued. Upon hearing Atri Muni speaking that way, the 3 great deities smiled, and they replied in the following sweet words. Now, Prabhupada did not give a purport, but those 2 last words are very important. Sweet words. It's Kali Yuga, which means the age of quarrel, which means for over a trifle we will quarrel with each other. This is Kali's way of keeping us unbalanced, even after we take the Krishna consciousness. So you have to make an extra effort to speak sweetly. Make the effort. And Krishna supports that in the Bhagavad Gita. There's austerities of the body, austerities of speech, austerities of the mind. And one of the austerities of speech is to speak pleasing words. Don't fall into Kali's trap of, "Arr, arr, why are you bothering me?" Vedic culture is Atita Narayan. If somebody comes to your door, even if you don't know them, Prabhupada said 3 things. Invite them in to sit down, offer them at least some water if that's all you can afford, and sweet words before you even ask them why they came. So that's Vedic culture. So just meditate on that from the first verse. Translation, sweet words. That's your meditation for today. Everybody you interact with, try to speak sweetly. Okay? Don't fall into Kali's trap of. Even amongst devotees, we fall into that trap. Glaring like that. No. Look at each other nicely and speak nicely. Okay, text 30. We do responsibly. Deva uchuhu yata kritaste sankalpo bhavyang te naivananyata sat sankalpasya te brahman yad vaijayati te vayam Deva uchuhu yata kritaste sankalpo bhavyang te naivananyata sat sankalpasya te brahman yad vaijayati te vayam Deva uchuhu yata kritaste sankalpo bhavyang te naivananyata satsankalpasya te brahman yad vaijayati te vayam. Please chant. Yata kritaste sankalpo bhavyang te naivananyata sat sankalpasya te brahman yad vaijayati te vayam. Vaishnavis? Any of that? Deva uchuhu yata kritaste sankalpa bhavyang te naivananyata sat sankalpasya te brahman yad vaijayati te vayam. Deva uchuhu yata kritaste sankalpo bhavyang te naivananyata sat sankalpasya te brahman yad vaijayati te vayam. Anyone else? Okay, synonyms. Deva uchuhu. The demigods replied, Yata, as, Kritaha, done, Te, by you, Sankalpaha, determination, Bhavyam, to be done, Tena eva, by that, Na anyata, not otherwise, Satsankalpasya, one whose determination is never lost. Te, of you, Brahman, O dear Brahmana, yet that which, vai, certainly, dhyati, meditating, te, all of them, vayam, we are. Just a note for your technical person, there's a reason why when they sell microphones they give you a foam cover. It prevents that you get from certain syllables. So that's one reason to keep the foam cover on the microphone. Okay, Srila Prabhupada's translation for this verse. The three deities told Atri Muni, dear Brahmanas, you are perfect in your determination, and therefore, as you have decided, so it will happen. It will not happen otherwise. We are all the same person upon whom you were meditating, and therefore we have all come to you. Please repeat. The three deities told Atri Muni, dear Brahmana, you are perfect in your determination, and therefore as you have decided, so it will happen. It will not happen otherwise. We are all the same person upon whom you were meditating, and therefore we have all come to you. Srila Prabhupada's purport. Atri Muni unspecifically thought of the personality of Godhead, the Lord of the universe, although he had no clear idea of the Lord of the universe nor of his specific form. Mahavishnu, from whose breathing millions of universes emanate and into whom they are again withdrawn, may be accepted as the Lord of the universe. Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, from whose abdomen sprouted the lotus flower, which is the birthplace of Brahma, may also be considered the Lord of the universe. Similarly, Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, who is the supersoul of all living entities, may also be considered the Lord of the universe. Then, under the order of Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, the Vishnu form within this universe, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva may also be accepted as the lords of the universe. Vishnu is the Lord of the universe because he is its maintainer. Similarly, Brahma creates the different planetary systems and the population, so he also may be considered the Lord of the universe. Or Lord Shiva, who is ultimately the destroyer of the universe, also may be considered its Lord. Therefore, since Atri Muni did not specifically mention whom he wanted, all three, Brahma, Vishnu, and Lord Shiva, came before him. They said, quote, since you were thinking of having a son exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the universe, your determination will be fulfilled. End of quote. In other words, one's determination is fulfilled according to the strength of one's devotion. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 25, Yanti deva vrata devan pitri nyanti pitri vrataha. If one is attached to a particular demigod, one is promoted to the abode of that demigod. If one is attached to the pitas or forefathers, one is promoted to their planet. And similarly, if one is attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, one is promoted to the abode of Lord Krishna. Atri Muni had no clear conception of the Lord of the universe. Therefore, the three presiding deities, who are actually the lords of the universe in the three departments of the modes of nature, all came before him. Now, according to the strength of his determination for a son, his desire would be fulfilled by the grace of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachate Shatarine Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtang Shapitang Jaina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyahang Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Ragana Tanvatam Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Hrijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangsha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhuva Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishyavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, first, we heard, two verses we heard. The first one was Maitreya Uvacha. So as we know, you've been hearing Bhagavatam for some time, conversation within conversation within conversation. So Maitreya is not exactly edifying, but giving knowledge that maybe had already existed to Vidura, but that doesn't mean that we don't hear again and again. It's not that one time one devotee was having some difficulty, so I suggested that maybe you read Bhagavad Gita again. And that person said, I read Bhagavad Gita 10 times, and I've read the whole Bhagavatam 3 times. So I still said, read them again. There's no end. It's the goal, it's the means, it's the ashraya. So we just keep hearing Bhagavad Gita over and over and over again. We keep hearing Bhagavatam over and over and over again. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Devotion. There is no end. Prabhupada had made a list of the Acharya scriptures that he was planning to translate had he stayed long enough. So there are so many books. But at least the core ones we should hear. I've said many times while traveling, my next door neighbor is Jutta Karmadas. Many of you must know. He's the preeminent science preacher, Bhaktivedanta Institute, known worldwide as Michael Cremo, forbidden archaeology, human devolution, like that. So his method, that we discussed many, many years ago, and I liked. Because the tendency, sometimes we pick up a book like the Bhagavad Gita and we read, or we Nectar Devotion, read a few pages. His method, and I recommend for everybody if you're not already doing that, 10 pages of all the major books from Srila Prabhupada every day. 10 pages, so 10 pages Gita, minimum. If you can do more, fine. But 10 pages Gita, 10 pages Bhagavatam, 10 pages CC, 10 pages Nectar of Devotion. And at that pace, if you do 10 pages a day of one book in 30 days, how many pages have you read? 10 times 30? 300. So 4 books, 300 pages each in 1 month. And you just keep going like that. Doesn't take very long. How long does it take to read 10 pages? Then you go to the next book, 10 pages. Next. Now in the beginning, when you first come to Krishna consciousness, I also recommend, don't try to figure everything out or what does this. Just read, cover to cover, each of Prabhupada's books. Then you go back and then you try to go deeper. Every time you go back, you try to go deeper. So here we're discussing the pastime of Atri Muni. Who is Atri Muni's father? Who is Atri Muni's father? Brahma. He's one of the mental sons of Lord Brahma. So, does that mean that Brahmaji did a bad job? His son Atri doesn't know who the Supreme is? Or is this just pastime, like in the case of Arjuna? We know Arjuna is a constant companion of Lord Krishna. So when he expresses doubts, it's pastime, it's lila. He's temporarily covered so Bhagavad Gita can be spoken. Is that the same case here with Atri Muni? Or maybe Atri should have consulted his older brother Narad Muni. Back in the 2nd canto, Narad Muni approached Lord Brahma and he said, Deva Deva namastestu bhuta bhavana purvaja tad vijanhi ajnanam atma tattva nidarshanam. He inquired. He wanted to know. Of course, Narad Muni is coming from the spiritual world. He knows. So in that case, he's inquiring for our benefit. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. Whether the devotee already knows and is just asking so that pastime can take place, or really doesn't know and is going to be edified, but we are fortunate that it has come down to us. So Narad Muni knew. he addressed Lord Brahma, Deva Deva, the chief of the demigods. Namaste I offer my obeisances. Bhuta Bhavana, the source or person who has produced all this progeny, all the bhutas. Tadbijani Ajnanam. Please give me that jnana. Which jnana? Not just any knowledge of what is today's, stock market doing and what is that maybe not so sane person in America doing with tariffs and all that. No, not that kind of knowledge. He wants to know Atma Tattva Nidarshanam. That knowledge that gives darshan, just like we come to take darshan. It gives us the vision of what's really happening. Atma Tattva Nidarshanam. So, Atri could have approached Narad Muni. But we're taking things as they are. He's expressing or not very clear about what's happening. So, the demigods have approached. And then they speak. Maitreya is telling Vidura what's happening. Then he says, and then Deva Uchu, Yata Kritaste Sankalpa. So because Atri of his purity is austerity, and not just because austerity everybody's doing. I just came from Vrindavan, and it's amazing, practically 24/7, 365. Some guy's on the corner with his cart, he's setting up for the day, or he's trying to get right. Austerities, they rise before most of the devotees. Before most devotees get up to take bath to go to Mangalarti, these guys are already on the corner. That's great austerity. So Atri Muni's austerity was standing on one leg for 100 years. You can't imagine. Who else did that? Actually something similar. Not one leg, he was standing on his tippy toes. Hiranyakashipu. But his purpose was different. He didn't want to find out who was the Lord of the universe. He wanted to kill the Lord of the universe. Just imagine. It's unfathomable how the pure living entity, because every Atma, every Jivatma is ontologically the same. It's not there that there's sometimes people are confused about this. They think that there are classifications of Jivas. Some are higher, some are lower. No, every part and parcel of Krishna, just like if you take gold and you take some gold dust, every particle of gold dust is gold. So every Atma, every Jivatma, every part and parcel marginal energy of Krishna is exactly the same. Now, yes, distinctions come in because of our desire. And Krishna points that out, and it's also pointed out, Daubhuta sargalokesmin devasura evacha. Yes, based on your mentality, you fall into these two broad categories. Daubhuta sargalokesmin, within this world, deva asura evacha. So based on your mentality, you can be classified as a deva or as an asura. But ontologically still the same. Same exact potency, the same exact constitutional characteristics are there. But by our free will, we turn away. And based on that free will, we come into this material world. And that's where the confusion starts. Because we come into this material world, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Icha Daisha Samutena Dandva Mohena Bharata. Because of moha, illusion, enforced by desire to be God and hatred of God, this is why we are here. So, it seems then that there are classifications of jivas, but no, it's the same potency is there of all jivas. When you approach the topic of perfection, then you get to three categories. There's the Nityasiddha, those jivas who have never misused their free will and therefore they're still compact in seva to the Lord, they worship the Lord, they serve the Lord. Then maybe there are some of you Nityasiddha, I don't want to assume, but most of us here are not Nityasiddha. We are trying to approach the second category, which is Sadhansiddha. By perfection of sadhana bhakti, one can come back to the perfectional platform. And then the third category is Kripasiddha. One who maybe didn't practice sadhana very nicely, or maybe not even at all, but by the mercy of a great devotee of the Lord or the Lord himself, that person is brought back. Because it's just a matter of removing the covering. The pure devotee is there in every single body in this material world, from the most insignificant ant to the highest demigod. The same pure soul is there. But depending on the degree of material covering, we exhibit proper spiritual behavior or not. So Kripa Siddha means, Prabhupada explained one time to one of the disciples, so the disciple was confused. What Kripa Siddha was that? Prabhupada said it's like if you're a poor man, and I come to you and I not only offer you some money, 10 crores rupees, I push it in your pocket, I force you to take it. That's Kripa Siddha. So that's what Prabhupada has done for us. Well, maybe not you, you're all pure souls here in India, but I know a fellow like myself, having taken birth outside of India, no real interest in spiritual, pseudo-spirituality. I was raised in a Christian household, but even since childhood I had interest, because I was born in 52, and back then there was no internet. Television had just been introduced, and we were allowed to watch maybe 1 hour at night. So, reading, that was my pastime, just reading, constantly reading. So I had an uncle, one of my mother's brothers, who was very much into Asian, Occidental, any philosophy outside of Christianity. He was not satisfied with Christianity. And then he would start feeding me these books, about Taoism, thisism, thatism. And I was reading it. So when I got to be about 10 years old, I asked my mother, started asking a lot of questions. Why? One simple question that you can ask any Christian person that you know. You say that God is a fair and just God. Fair and just. If God is fair and just, why there is so much disparity in the world? I can see in my own family. I have one maternal uncle who's extremely wealthy, and then a maternal aunt who was struggling like anything. Her husband was a bum, and she already had 2 children struggling just to put food on the table every day. Why that disparity? Why one member of the family is so wealthy and they can't answer? She said, go to the minister, you ask him. And they obfuscate. Yes, God is fair and just, but he moves in mysterious ways, and no satisfactory answer. So finally, I bugged my mother so much, she said, look, this is my chosen path. If it doesn't work for you, find your own. So yeah, I grew up, as a pseudo-spiritualist, reading everything, this one, that one, but no fixed idea. Just like here it's mentioned, actually didn't have a fixed idea of who is supreme and like that. So when I met Prabhupada, when I got a book from one of Prabhupada's followers, you know him now as His Holiness Devamrita Swami. But when I got the pamphlet, Krishna Reservoir of Pleasure, from him on the street in New York, 1973, he was not even initiated. This is the power of Prabhupada's movement. An uninitiated Bhaktin can go on the street with Prabhupada's books. Excuse me, sir, please take. That's all it takes. Somebody just take a little bit of it. Prabhupada said even if they don't buy the book, even if they just look at the book, they just touch the book, they read one word. One of my dear God brothers who's now gone, maybe I'm all, I don't know if you ever met him, Suradas. You ever met Suradas? My God brother? Yeah, he was one of the top Sankirtan devotees for a long time. He used to say, if they touch the book, if they even read one word, soon they will be living in the temple, eating sabji with curd. That's the power of Prabhupada's books. That's the power of Prabhupada's books. Just a little bit of a... And then it applies in so many ways. Once, this was about 1973, 74, there was a Muslim fellow who was coming to the temple in Portland, Oregon. He was a taxi driver. And he was coming every day, becoming more and more interested, chanting. And then one day, the devotees heard that he had died in a car accident. So they were shocked. So they wrote to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, why would Krishna do that? Here's a Muslim person, and he's taking interest in Krishna consciousness, and he's chanting already. Seriously, why would Krishna take him? And he was a young man, maybe about early 30s, wife and children already. So Prabhupada wrote back. He said, because for him in this life, it would have been difficult. So Krishna is always making appropriate arrangements for all of us. We should see it like that. We tend to think of ups and downs and problems and this and that. No. Prabhupada said once you take to this path of Krishna consciousness, it's no longer karma. Krishna takes full charge of you. So whatever you're thinking is karma, like I went to a program at the Goshala in Vrindavan, and when I came out, my shoes were gone. Somebody stole my shoes. So I took a ride from one devotee on his scooter. But on the way back, somewhere or other on the scooter, my foot got cut. So that may look like karma, but I know it's reduced karma. Without being a devotee, I would have lost a leg. That's how we should think. Anything that seems negative in your life, it's just a token, just to remind us to stay serious. Don't get too comfortable here. We're not here to be comfortable. In spite of understanding that, we still, every day, we want to be comfortable. Why? Because we're from the spiritual world. Everything is perfect. So, psychologically, we can understand why we want everything to be perfect, why we want everything to be happy, everything to be comfortable, because that's what we're used to, where we come from. But we're not in the spiritual world right now. Of course, when you chant and you see the deities, you're in Dwarka. But we should see, we're in this material world, which means danger at every step. Padam padam yad vipatam natesha. That was one of the first verses that I learned. I learned verses because people ask me, how you know? Anything I hear Prabhupada cite when he's speaking, I try to learn. Any verse that Prabhupada quotes in his books, I try to learn. So Prabhupada will quote that verse a lot. Samarsitaye padapalabapabam mahatpadam punya yashomurari babambudi vatsapadam parampadam padam yadvipadam natesham. So Krishna's lotus feet, which are like a boat, huge boat that can take all of us from the material world across the Viraja River to the spiritual world. Krishna's lotus feet are like that, like a big boat. You just take shelter. And that boat is so perfect that even though so many munis and devotees have taken the boat to the other side, to the spiritual world, still the boat remains on this side for us to use. Bhavambudi vatsapadam parampadam. So, Bhava Ambudi, this material world is like an ocean of birth and death. Not like, it is an ocean of birth and death. Bhavambudi. But what happens when we take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, Dwarkadish's lotus feet? Vatsapadam. That unlimitedly vast ocean of birth and death becomes reduced to the size of water in the hoofprints of a calf. Anybody, even a layman, can step over the amount of water in the footprint of a calf. So our destination is Parampadam, the spiritual world, not this place which is known as Padam Padam, Yadvipadam, where there's danger at every step. So Achimuni, again, he's very fortunate because of his sincerity. These three lords have appeared before him, Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma, and Lord Shiva. And they will favor him by appearing partially through partial expansions as his three sons. And but ultimately, we should know who is the Supreme. That's what this is all about. It's the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. I notice a lot here in India, people leave out that K. When they make an acronym, they write ISKCON. Why are you leaving out the K? Why are you leaving out Krishna? It's ISKCON. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Somehow or other, we always try to avoid Krishna. Knowingly or unknowingly. But the whole thing is to become more and more conscious of Krishna. This is not just a spiritual path, it's a Krishna conscious path to make us more and more conscious of Krishna. So to remind us of that, Krishna in the 9th chapter, he says, and this is your homework for remembering today. Actually, I'm going to give you more homework, but this is one verse you should try to know, 9:27. Pitahang asya jagata Mata, Data, Pitamaha, Vedam, Pavitram, Omkara, Rig, Sama, Yajur, Evacha. Actually, very easy. So Krishna says, Pita Aham. Atri's father may be Brahma, your father may be somebody, my father is somebody. But Pita Aham, Krishna is saying, I'm everybody's father. So then the ladies will say, well, I don't just have father, I have father and mother. He says, yes, Mata, I am also your mother. Pita Aham asya jagata. Mata, Data, I am the sustainer. Pitamaha, I am the grandsire. Vedyam, I am that which is to be known. Here in India, people are known for being very smart because it's so competitive academically. But what is the Anta, Vedanta? That's why we, Bhakti Vedanta. What is the end of knowledge, end of Veda? That is Krishna. Vedyam, Pavitram, I'm the purifier. Omkar, Prabhupada, on speaking about this one time, Prabhupada said, by the way, Amoga, when do we end? When does class end? I can go on speaking for hours. Okay. So Prabhupada, in speaking on this topic once, he said, some of them are very fond of chanting Om. They won't chant Hare Krishna, but they're very fond of chanting Om. But Krishna said, I am that Omkar. Pranava Omkar, that's me. So you can't avoid me. Yes, go ahead, chant Om, but you're calling me. Rik Samayam ages. And I'm all of the four Vedas. People again, Prabhupada said, some of them are, because the Brahmanas are supposed to be Pandits. They're supposed to know the Vedas. So some of them are Vedi, some of them are Dvivedi, some of them are Trivedi, some of them are Chaturvedi. But what is the object of studying all these Vedas? That's Krishna. So we don't take to the path of Krishna consciousness to show off scholarship. We take to the path of Krishna consciousness to become conscious of Krishna. So that's how we test. We test ourselves. Now, there are two extreme tests that we get in devotional life, in life in general. Things are very, very good. I'm getting all respect and honor, and I have enough money in the bank, and everything is going on. Health is good, everything is nice. Do we remember Krishna under those circumstances? Generally, not so easy, as Kunti Devi says. It's not so easy. Not so easy when things are going well, and John Maishwar, Shuta Shribi, Edamana Manakpuman. When things are going well, it's not so easy. Other side is things are really, really bad. Poor health, no money, the wife has left you. Everything bad. Do we remember Krishna? Generally, yes. If you're pious, hey Bhagavan, you bow down to Krishna and you beg him for relief. So that's the beginning. That's at least pious. And Krishna says that. Chaturvedabhajanta imam jana sukriti arjuna. Those who have some sukriti, some pious credits, artha jigyasu artarti ganicha bharatarshaba, they tend to approach me. Now, some people will say, yeah, well, I'd rather be tested with the good thing. Give me a lot of money. I'll remember Krishna. So we can do a little experiment. Let's say I'm the wealthiest guy in the world. I'm not. Barely have enough airfare to get back to America, but let's say I'm the wealthiest guy in the world. And I give every one of you here 10 crores today. And then I come back next year. Will everybody here still have 10 crores? Thank you. Yes? No? If I gave every one of you here right now, this morning, 10 crores rupees, and I come back in 1 year's time, would everybody still have 10 crore? No, obviously not. Based on your mentality, you could have more. You could have about the same. Those who invest wisely would have some more. Those who are miser, they don't want to spend a paisa. They just want to look at it every day. I still have my 10 crore. I still have my 10 crore. And then the crazy guys, the Pagla fellows, they would take off the neck beads, throw away the bead bag, and get on a plane and go to Las Vegas. Within 2 weeks, 2 months, it's all gone. So why the disparity? It's based on our consciousness. It's not that Krishna is going to force somebody to invest wisely, or force somebody to keep it under the mattress, or force somebody to go to Vegas. It's our desire. So Krishna consciousness is the pathway for purification of desire. So that's how we check ourselves every day. What am I actually desiring? Yes, I get up and I take bath, I come to Mangalartik, I bow down to Rukmini Dwarkadish, I chant my 16 rounds dutifully. But what is it I really want? And I've seen, when I joined in New York, there was one brahmacharya, remember, and then I lost track. And then about 15 years later, I saw him. And he came to me and said, "Remember me, Prabhu?" First, I didn't remember. He said, "Actually," he said, "you made me a devotee." He said, "You went to one home program and you preached to me, and because of that, I became a devotee." Okay, now I started to remember. Yeah. So what's happening? Because he looked a little bit, as we say, beat up by the material world. So he had gotten married. No, before getting married, his parents died and left him. This is like in the 1970s, mid-70s, $800,000 US, which is like $8 million US now, if not more. So as soon as he got the inheritance, he did that. Took off the neck beads, threw away the bead bag, and he took off to enjoy. And he met some non-devotee girl, married her, they had a couple of children, and after some time she divorced him and took all the money that was left. And then he was down. And in that condition, in that downtrodden condition, he came back to Krishna consciousness. So Krishna says that, yes. Yasyaham anugrahanami harishye taddanam janai tasyadanam tadantyasya swajano dukkha dukkitam. Krishna says that. When I favor someone, yasyaham anugrahanami harishye taddanam janai. When I favor somebody, my first installment is that I take away everything that he has. All money, all prestige, everything. And then, tasya adanam. In that position, when you have no dana, no money, tasya adanam, tajantyasya, swajano dukkha dukkitam. When you have no money, no position, then all of your swajana, all of your people, your relatives, your so-called friends, they kick you away. Useless fellow, who wants to hang around somebody with no money, no position, no nothing. But this is Krishna's mercy. Because then you have no other shelter than Krishna. Then you come to Dwarkadisha, and then you, with feeling, you can bow down and say, "Please engage me in your service." Hare Krishna. So we can stop here. Any questions, comments? Leave a few minutes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for a wonderful lecture. But I just said that we have to become fully surrender. And we hear this thing many times. But what happened, as we see in your life, as you are disciple of Srila Prabhupada, and you are so surrender. But we are still here practicing, trying to become surrender. Externally, but internally, we are not so surrender. How can we develop that? What is the, how can we learn this thing?
Well, Krishna consciousness is a process that takes time. That's why Rupa Goswami recommends Utsaha Nischaya Dharyat. You have to be enthusiastic, but you have to be patient and determined. In the beginning, most of us were thinking that, yes, maybe after 6 months, 1 year maximum, I'll be a pure devotee. Not so easy. You can. Prabhupada said it, you can surrender in a second. But most of us are not so serious. So we take the gradual path. But it's guaranteed, Prabhupada said, if you stick to this process, follow the regular principles, chant 16 rounds every day, he guarantees that you'll go back to Godhead. That's Prabhupada's guarantee to us. So we should be enlivened by that. Completely enlivened. If I just follow the principles, yes. Of course, you have to do some practical service. But even if you don't, even if you're the kind of person that just sits down at home every day, don't get on the internet and just waste time. Keep chanting, read Prabhupada's books. Because, as we said, the living entity is by nature pure. Not I'm saying, Krishna says. Eternally my part. So if the source is pure, Krishna, then the part is also pure. Just covered temporarily. And that covering, the cleansing process, is this Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. In the association of devotees, that's when it becomes potent. Because sometimes we think we can do it on our own. I'll tell you a story. Not a story, it's a fact. Early 90s, I'm in the San Diego temple, and there was one young man, came, very quickly became serious, moved into the ashram, was chanting, doing seva. And then one day he said to me, "You know, Prabhu, I don't see any pure devotees here. I'm doubting, but I think I can do better just being by myself, so I'm going to leave." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yes." So he took off, he left. About a year later, I go to the Sunday feast, and there he is. Hey, you're back, what happened? So he went off. This is in, I don't know if you know U.S. geography. This San Diego is the southernmost major city on the west coast of America. So he left and he went one state over, Arizona. He went to some remote part of Arizona. He said he was sitting in a cave, chanting Hare Krishna on his own, feeling good, no anxiety being around other devotees. You don't have to say Hari Bol all the time. You don't have to bow down just by himself. But he still have to eat. So at least once a week he would go to some nearby small town and get his provisions, you know, his dal, rice, whatever he was buying. And on one such trip, he met some nice young lady. And make a long story short, she moved into the cave and made his life miserable, and then he came back. So you cannot escape your mind. Another time I was having lunch with one of my godbrothers who's a guru in ISKCON. I won't say who. And he was saying, you know, so many of my disciples are always pestering me, Guru Maharaj, please give me permission to leave this temple and go to that temple. Leave this temple, go to that temple. He said they don't understand. Wherever they go, their mind goes with them. So they have the same problem. Yes, you may leave Dwarka and go to Kailash or wherever you go. Say your mind goes with you, and you're going to run into the same problems. So you have to control your mind. It's all about controlling the mind, purification of desire. And then wherever you go, you'll be happy. Wherever you go. Okay? Okay, maybe one more. Or before I do, this morning Amogligala was reading. Who remembers what he was reading? He was reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Who remembers? I want to see. Who was at Mangalarti? Put your hand up. Who was attending the Mangalarti this morning? Put your hand up. Do you remember what Amogligala was reading? So these daily readings are not just sound going one ear or the other. It should be your meditation for the day. Very important subject he was reading. About the different classification of names of God. And then he gave a nice, he was speaking in Hindi, but I could understand more or less what he was saying. About the potency, the difference between Allah, Jehovah, and Yashodanandana, or different names of God. Same God, but depending on your mentality of approaching Him, the name becomes more concentrated and sweet. So there's a very nice sloka, very easy to remember, about the sweetness of Krishna, how it intensifies. We'll finish with this. Madhuram, Madhuram, Vapur Asya Vibho, Madhuram, Madhuram, Vadanam, Madhuram, Madhurgand, Mridhu Smitad Eitat Aho, Madhuram, 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 Madhuram. So what is the main word? Madhur. So, Madhuram, Madhuram, Vapur Asya Vibho. So the Vapu, the form of the Lord, is sweet. Madhuram, Madhuram, Vadanam, Madhuram. And within that form, the face is sweeter. Madhurganda Mridhu Smrita Deitaraha. Madhuram, 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 Madhuram. But the smile on that face is 4 times sweet. Madhuram, Madhuram, Madhuram. Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
His grace Archit Prabhu ji ki jai. Let's pay our gratitude to Prabhu ji by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And since Prabhu ji came all the way to bless all of us, so as a matter of token of gratitude, we got a small gift for Prabhu ji. Prabhu ji, please kindly accept it. Krishna Prasadam ki jai.